Hello and how do you do? This is my entry for Indie Bits 2017. It is a jigsaw puzzle synthesizer. So this is the puzzle synthesizer, and this is our puzzle. It at the moment is a 7 by 5 grid, and this style of puzzle is called a ribbon because it's sort of a weave of ribbons, very Japanese. And the first parameter here is called piece size, and you turn that down and the pieces get smaller. And likewise, if you go up, the pieces get bigger. So I'm going to turn them down to right around there. And then you can immediately start to concern yourself with tabs. So I'm going to turn the offset a little bit up, and you can start to see these tabs appear. The overshoot determines how they will interlock. So offset's like how far out they'll go, and overshoot is like how much they'll interlock. You'll notice that these are all pointing up and these are all pointing down, and these lines, these edges, have no tabs. It's because they're determined by the width. Well, the width of the tab has to be smaller than the length of the side. This is like a threshold. So since these sides are shorter, I need to turn down tab width in order to get tabs to show up. So there they are. This is more important when we get into the noise, which helps with the ordering and direction. So as you turn up Vora noise, here, hold on, I'll turn down the offset so it's easier to see. As I turn up the Vora noise, the center of the pieces shift due to a two-dimensional field of sine waves. Turning it all the way up makes them drift away from their original location, and playing with the seeds sort of feeds a different number into those sine waves so that they consistently come out the same way every time that the puzzle redraws. So if all you need is the tabs to just point in slightly different directions, just clear that out, all you have to do is turn the Vora noise up just the tiniest bit, and then they'll start to sort of randomize and become more interesting. So I'm going to illustrate that again. You'll also notice that some of these don't have tabs because they are determined to be too short, which is important for these little sides. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit so that most of the long sides get tabs and most of the short sides do not. So again, you can play with the Vora noise to sort of warp the layout a little bit. And yeah, that would be an acceptable normal puzzle right there. Now, tab width, when played with and gone to the extreme left, will increase the number of tabs per side. And then we have to start playing with some of these other parameters to deal with the problems that that introduces. So I'm going to turn tab width down enough that we get 1 or 2 or maybe 3 tabs per side. Very good. That looks about right. This is roughly 2 tabs per side. And then I'm going to use lead to, well, here, let's increase the noise first, and then you'll start to see some of the problems. So I'm going to increase the noise, and watch this area right here. You'll see the tabs start to collide almost, and it would be worse if the overshoot was higher. That's how you can get some of these tabs to intersect with one another. And to deal with that, there's this lead, which sort of compresses the... Oh dear. Lead... Oh, you know what? I didn't. I did not program that correctly. Oh no. I guess I need to still work on that. Okay, well, okay. Anyway, lead sort of compresses the tabs together to get them away from the corners. And still got to work on it a little bit, I guess. So anyway, this is like a more Victorian style jigsaw puzzle where the shapes are much more random, and you can sort of play around with tab width, a combination of tab width. But all of these tabs are going to be identical, so this side might very easily interlock with another side because they are so identical. That's when you have to start introducing wiggle, which randomizes the offset. So again, this is just randomizing how far out the tab will go. And then woggle sort of tilts the tab itself, so it's easier to see if the tab width is up. And the offset is quite high. The overshoot is really visible. I'll turn the wiggle down. So as I turn woggle up, they should get more uneven. It's very subtle because this can get really out of hand combined with wiggle. So anyway. So yeah, this is typically enough to get a pretty darn good puzzle going, and all you have to do is play with the parameters until you feel like you've got something where the pieces will reliably interlock using a combination of lead, offset, overshoot, wiggle, woggle, tab width, bezel, seed, Voronoi, and piece size. We didn't actually cover bezel, but it's more applicable when you get some of these crazy looking shapes and you need to push the make the edge pieces bigger to sort of contain the craziness. But since the last few updates, I haven't really needed that anymore. So I'm going to just make something that looks somewhat reasonable. And let's see, I need a little bit of taper, a little more lead, a little less overshoot. Squish these things around. I think I want more tabs, a little less woggle and wiggle so that things don't get too crazy, because you only need a little bit just to make things actually interlock. And I think if I play with the seed just a tiny bit, I can make these edges clean up. There, almost. Still need to debug that. Okay, so that looks, almost. Almost. Okay, finally. Okay, there's a clean puzzle, and it's looking pretty good. So anyway, let's assume that this was perfect. We were ready to send it off to the cutter. I just hit export, and this will save file right to my downloads, and there it is. Ready to pull into Illustrator. And I can start refining or cleaning up or doing whatever extra. And the image actually doesn't need to be attached to the SVG. You can just print the image out on paper and paste it to some cardboard, run this through a cutter, and the rest just happens all by itself. So that's it. That's my submission for IndieBits 2017. I'll have the puzzle generator out for people to play with, so presumably they could make their own puzzles on the fly. And I'll also have 3 or 4 demos of puzzles that I've already made. Thank you.